Hello and welcome to the book station, and welcome to part one of my massive book haul. I say massive, for me it's massive, there's 21 books. So yes, I'm going to show you some of them in this video and then look out for part two, which will be uploaded straight after this, where I'll show you the rest. So, let's go. Okay, so the first book I have is called Columbine, and this is by Dave Cullen. This is going to sound weird, but I am obsessed with the Columbine shootings and what happened on the 20th of April 1999. Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold walked into their school, Columbine High, planted two 20-pound propane bombs in the dining room, and then waited outside. The bombs didn't go off, but they started shooting, and then they went outside to pick off students and teachers that came running out the doors. It was a horrible situation, and there was apparently no reason for the attacks. So this basically documented that. Yes. And I've watched like documentaries on YouTube about this, and it just fascinates me for some reason. So yeah, I'm really excited to get to this. It's quite big, but I've heard on Amazon, I looked at it on Amazon, and all the reviews say it reads like a novel, even though it's true life. It reads like a novel. So, and I love the spine. Obviously, that's Columbine. Yeah, the same as on the cover there. But anyway, I'm excited to get to this. Okay, the next book I have is The Art of Being Normal by Lisa Williamson. If you look at the cover, I think you might be able to guess what this is about. It says, two outsiders, two secrets. David longs to be a girl, Leo wants to be invisible. When Leo stands up for David in a fight, an unlikely friendship forms. But things are about to get messy, because at Eden Park School, secrets have a funny habit of not staying secret for long. And I read George by Alex Gino last year, which was brilliant. It was basically along the same lines, but it was written for like much younger people. So this is YA, like a YA version of George, I've heard. So yeah, I'm excited to get to this. And I love stories about like trans desires and stuff. So that's that one. And then I received a copy of Mercy Seat by Wayne Price for review from Freight Books. First saw this on Mercy from Mercy's Bookish Musings channel. I'll leave a link in the description box below. She often receives review copies from Freight Books, and they always sound awesome, all the titles. So I got in contact and asked if I could review books for them, and they said yes. So this is the first one I requested, and it sounds brilliant. Luke, a boy on the brink of manhood, drifts to a remote seaside town but can only replace his lonely childhood with responsibilities, marriage and fatherhood, for which he is perilously unprepared. The arrival of Christine, his wife's estranged sister, draws Luke into the unspoken, destructive mystery at the heart of the two women's relationship. As his understanding of himself and others begins to unravel, he must make a choice that will haunt his life forever. Sounds really good. Okay, the next book I picked up is The Gone Away World by Nick Harkaway. This is kind of like a fantasy. It says, equal parts raucous adventure, comic odyssey, and romantic epic, The Gone Away World is a story of, among other things, love and loss, of ninjas, pirates, politics, of curious heroism in strange and dangerous places, and of a friendship stretched beyond its limits. But it is also the story of a world, not unlike our own, in desperate need of heroes, however unlikely they may seem. So it sounds good. It is a beast, but it does sound really good. I then picked up The Museum of Extraordinary Things by Alice Hoffman. It's set in New York in 1911. It's about a girl called Coralie, who is a circus girl. She's a web-fingered mermaid, and she is the only daughter of Professor Sardi and she is raised in the bizarre surroundings of his Museum of Extraordinary Things. And then a boy comes along, and yeah, I think we know what happens from there. But it sounds good, and the cover's awesome. I then picked up Futuristic Violence and Fancy Suits by David Wong. This cover is absolutely stunning. Oh, so pretty. It's just really pretty. And it says on the back, nightmarish villains with superhuman enhancements, an all-seeing social network that tracks your every move, mysterious, smooth-talking power players who lurk behind the scenes, a young woman from the trailer park, and her very smelly cat. Together they will decide the future of mankind. So that sounds good. Okay, next book I have is The Black Book of Secrets by F.E. Higgins. This is like a middle grade fantasy. It's about a guy who works for Joe Zabidoo, and he records the villagers' fiendish confessions. So he records people's confessions for this guy, but his own murky past threatens to come into the light. So it sounds good, and this cover's awesome. I then have What Would Dickens Do by Constance Moore. This is like a little tiny mini book that basically asks like modern questions and answers them with quotes from characters from Charles Dickens' stories. So, what's the best way to have a good time with friends? Fan the sinking flame of hilarity with the wing of friendship and pass the rosy wine. And that's a quote from Dick Swiveller in The Old Curiosity Shop. So I just thought it sounded really good and really witty, and I actually really like this cover. But yeah, it's basically that throughout the whole book. But it's just a nice thing to have on my bookshelf. Okay, I'm just aware of the time on here, so I'm just going to show you these two quickly. I then picked up two things by Gillian Flynn, or Gillian Flynn. I have Sharp Objects and I have The Grown Up. I have Sharp Objects because I tried to read Gone Girl and I just couldn't. It was just, to me, it was terrible. But I've heard this is her best work. And then I picked up The Grown Up because it's a ghost story, which I love. It's super duper short. And I kind of bought it as like a sampler to her work, so then I can maybe read Sharp Objects or try and read it. And I've heard that this is a really good ghost story, so I'm kind of excited to have this one. Okay, so that is part one of my large book haul. Thank you for watching. If you liked, please give it a thumbs up. If you wish, you may subscribe. I will leave a link to part two in the description and Mercy's channel. And I will see you again in part two. Goodbye.